right, we're gonna allow ourselves to breathe into this space and into the message today, because I feel like I was resting for a proper party is what I'm hearing, and um, today is going to be such a celebratory energy, and we're really going to get, like I said, into the posture of what it will feel like to receive the intimate gift that we're going to be given from source. So it's extremely celebratory, but the MVP is really the divine feminine at this time. So I feel like we're going to start there and see um, what the collective's divine feminine is really channeling with this victory, with this like award ceremony, with this like really just super exciting restoration of faith, like eternally. Like it's like this coming in, like it will never be the same for you, because it just proves how intimately like source is really always listening to everything. It's such a beautiful, beautiful victory. Oh, congratulations to the divine feminine. It's something that she is ready to come back into balance over. We, the collective, are about to come back into balance of, and it is justice in that way that it balances, but it's just so remarkable. So thank you, divine feminine. The floor is yours. Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Doesn't this give you the perspective of like it is dawning on the divine masculine that what's presented is its true counterpart. What's presented here is honestly what this, through partnership with your divine feminine, you have found true freedom. Through the portal of love, through the ocean of love. And that is the embodiment. That is how the divine feminine is staring at the divine masculine energy right now, saying, I was always the gift. I was always a reflection. That's what I was always trying to tell you, is that I was always a reflection. I think my dog is having dreams. Interesting. But it's truly like I was always a reflection of the natural union that is occurring within your soul. It's feeling like some of these partnerships that are being created, these alliances that are now coming into fruition. I see happiness is activity, bro. That's been the mantra, bro. Like this whole Mars and Aries transit, I feel like happiness is activity. Like that's where people are going to be able to find their happiness. And I feel like I've been making some investments recently in a very physical way in like activities or and things like that. So I can definitely feel that energy coming in strong. But love is what sets me free. And there's that grounded understanding that like the achievement of what God has in store for you will quite literally feel like, yes, the path of love which I have chosen is exactly what is setting me free. So we're going to go ahead and just read this because these are not alphabetized. 84. Maybe they are. So Mirabai embodies a love that lets us do what's right for our own lives, no matter what others might think. Mirabai, or Mira, is a Bhakti poet and mystic from Rajasthan in India. She was born a princess in the late 15th century. She unwillingly married Bhoj Raj, the crown prince of Mewar, in 1516, but she considered Krishna to be her true husband. Legends say that her husband's family tried to kill her several times for defying the social customs and expectations of a wife. But in each of these legends, Mirabai's love for Krishna would miraculously save her. She wears the Krishna Tilaka, forehead marking, as a sign of her devotion to him. Northern India in the 16th century was besieged by violent battles between Hindus and Muslims. Mirabai's husband, father, and father-in-law all died in the war with the Islamic army of Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire. Mirabai refused to join her husband on his funeral pyre and again defend social and cultural expectations. She became the central saint of Bhakti movement during this difficult period in India history. The Bhakti movement is a spiritual path focused on the cultivation of a personal love for the divine. It is a devotional form of worship that believes anyone can have direct access to the divine regardless of sex, caste, or religion. Mirabai became the symbol of people suffering under the caste system and the persecution that ensued if anyone tried to defy social and political standing. Mirabai's poems are lyrical ballads, or love songs using metric verses, and they are so widely known and cherished because they relate an ultimate freedom that Mirabai lived out in her love for Krishna. When your soul selects this card, often without even realizing it, we make choices based on external expectations, on how we think other people will perceive our actions. Mirabai is about doing what's right for you and no one else. Ultimately, only you can know what needs to be done or said. You have this one brief life, and every second of it matters. Mirabai is about standing up for what you know is right for you, even if others will judge you for it. The fear of being persecuted can convince us not to be true to who we really are. There's a love, though, that's far larger than any human constructs and cultural values. Love isn't ethical. Love isn't bound by any idea of what's socially acceptable. Love is what sets us free from the expectations that bind us. Love, in whatever way it finds us, asks us to stay loyal to our own soul. Any outside force or person who asks us to betray our most intimate relationship with the divine isn't acting out of love. For Mirabai, her true husband wasn't the one she was married to. The love that made her brave, the love that inspired her every poem and action was a divine love for Krishna. So the laws that bound her to the strict expectations of being a wife didn't actually apply to her. Love asks us to look at what really matters to us and what we truly value. And love asks us to bravely defy expectations in order to be true to ourselves. Love wants us to marry our own soul. So the soul voice meditation says, what holds me back from expressing my truth? The intention is, love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I mean, there's so many nuances here, but essentially this divine feminine embodies the core truth. The truth that no matter what binding illusions you might make, like, where your love stands, what really is there is all that really is there when everything moves and changes in the wash. People are realizing and waking up that you've got to be, you're ultimately already married to your own soul. So the things that naturally encompass and reflect that union will be, and the things that aren't won't be. So some of us, like, things are just like dropping out because it's like, it's just so, like, you were just really deceiving yourself. I feel like Seven of Swords energy. Because I think that that's the biggest thing. Like, there's this idea of love setting you free, not caging you in. Right? Yeah, the poetess, Sappho. I love every inch of my body. I love the woman in my life fiercely. Whenever, pay attention to how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your body, the skin you're in right now, right? Because whether you love it or hate it, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be a reflection of whatever condition you're living under, because you probably don't hate the physical vessel, you just hate the conditions in which are achieving that result. So then take a look at those conditions and then ask yourself, are you harming yourself? Are you not listening to yourself? Like, if it's obvious that it doesn't make you feel good, is it worth continuing to do? Because if you can't love every inch of your own body and also love the women in your life fiercely, what is your relationship to the divine feminine? That would be where you find the answer to that. That is where you would find the answer to that. It's in how you feel about yourself, your home, your temple, how you feel about the inside of you. You know what I mean? Is that a sticky place for you? Is that triggering for you? What is that place? Like, her energy is just crazy. Because love sets you free. Some of y'all have been ducking and hiding for so long because you haven't had to confront how caged you really are by the love that you swear and that you live by wholeheartedly, with the understanding that this is as good as it gets for you. I mean, not to even just be like really whatever, but this is also like Mercury retrograde. Like, people thought they were playing you by being like, ha ha ha, you're not what I want in my actions, but you are everything that I want in my desires. That mismatch is gonna, there, you have to confront that. Because when Spirit takes the great magnet and realigns everybody to where they actually feel in their core, people might be shocked because you might be in deep partnerships that you swear, woo, it's rocking the future. North Node future. The direct satellite. Look at this. This is a direct time. This looks like there was a nodal activation. Look at this. What's the axis? Bottom of the deck. Libra balance in reverse. We pulled this yesterday. I'm telling you, the balance, bro. Upright is like a divine masculine, divine feminine. Like, it's the reversal of it, because it's gonna, the sands of time are getting rocked back and forth in order to reset. You gotta put all the beat, you gotta flip and go the other direction, you know, whichever way the sand is running at the time, but now is calling in this divine feminine. And as that, all those grains of sand move to the opposite end, so does the great migration. So just like a rush, like a kundalini rising is what I'm seeing. Because of this activation, this nodal activation that really changes everything and says, like, I'm coming. You're just aligning with your truest form by embracing this divine feminine. And so some of y'all are gonna, like, I feel like I see an energy of myself just really surprised by, like, things that I'm like, wow, like, some people are gonna be realigned back to you that you're gonna be like, interesting. Because that would mean that, like, that was the truth. It's like the justice is coming in through, like, what you're seeing being realigned back to you. And you may be beyond it. Like, it may be things that seem really unrelated right now, but just be paying special attention to things that just kind of come into your sphere. Because it has to do with the future, you know? Maybe it's just important for them to have that energy because they needed to know, it needed to be balanced that you were the future. We're all going to feel that because we're all a part of the future. So we're all going to see how we were the future in some aspect of our lives. So we're going to read 34. I'm loving this. You don't even need, like, much. So, the North Node, or Ascending Node, which, mind you, this channel is dedicated to my North Node. Shout out Virgo Saint North Node, bro. Like, it's super funny because Virgo placements are really not prevalent. I mean, I got a lot of mercurial energy and aspects, but Virgo energy, like being my North Node, it's like, it's iconic because if you really knew my energy, it's like there's that outside of my North Node, it's crickets, you know what I mean? But, so shout out to Virgo Saint North Node, okay, one time. Like, it's coming to the speaker near you because this is just like the beauty of documenting your ascension process, you know what I mean? Like, when the very intimate thing comes into me, like, I'll have created a platform for me to intimately share what it felt like to receive that, like, being psychic enough to get out in front of the experience and say, like, I know that Source is going to give me this at some point, so I'm going to always be prepared to relish in that moment, in that offering. Because it matters to me, the surprise of life, the knowing, the deep commitment, the bond, the faith, what the change, you know what I mean? So yes, big shout out to Virgo Saint North Node. Like, that entity really came together when I really needed to, like, even transcend. Like, I think, like, you know, when I thought about previous iterations of, like, what this space would be, like, I just knew that as a commitment to my higher self, which is the only time that something like this chronological order of videos would even be necessary. is if I'm striving for like higher, you know what I mean? Otherwise, like, you guys really don't need to be a part of that. So the North Node or ascending node represents a place the soul longs to be. Hello. Hello, if you couldn't tell, this is my soul being like, obviously I'm vulnerable because I want to be in this community. I want to be in this space. So I'm doing that. I'm being in it. This, you know what I mean? Where fate beckons. Yeah? Yeah? This is uncharted territory, bro. It's like your blow up is like the time where it's gonna hit. It's gonna rock certain people, places, and things. They're gonna be like, yo, no way. They did it. They blew up. Like, your moment is like, boom, mic drop. It's everything. It is euphoric. It is restored. It is balanced. It is just. It is real human life. It is real human life. It is. It's centering that experience. It's saying, to be closest to God, I must embody both spiritual and human. And I must acknowledge where it's different for both. But I needn't convolute or clog up the airwaves that are already inaccessible as it is with projections from it is. Okay, so don't be in this space. Don't be in your intuitive space, you as an individual, because this series is not about even like messages to you. It's messages to me. I hope you can always see the integrity of that, because like that's why I channel with a mirror. You want to know why I channel with a mirror? Because I don't expect to have a client on the other side of this table. I expect to have me on the other side of this table, and I expect to be saying that everything I'm saying to myself in practice. This is where it gets real, Gemini, and I'm so sorry that you see me going off like this. I'm not sorry at all, but like, I'm talking to myself right now. You know what I mean? First and foremost. And so, as you really start to realize, like, it's like, it just hits the airwaves. Like, it's like, yo, you can't be coming to your intuitive table and throwing junk in here. Like, making endless wars with what experience is to be prioritized. What if I told you you need both in order to be closer to God, which is the point of being here, which is the point of perfecting that relationship with God, because you're going to be here for as long as you need to be here, because you're going to be balling out with God. Slam dunking into synchronicities, you know what I mean? Beautifully dancing and co-creating. That's what the reality of this is. That is the future. And the future, you feel like a kundalini rising, like from the inside out, like this sharp sphere right through the center of the equator of all of it, of the core, piercing through. And the North Node calls you to territory that doesn't have a particular charge and can either be an exciting exploration or a start off a bit bland and become more satisfying as you proceed. Get it how you feel it, bro. Is what it's really saying. Do you see the rainbows of this card? I thought this card was black and white completely until I started really looking and I see the rainbows. I swear I didn't see that earlier. That's crazy. The lunar nodes are the points on the zodiac where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic. When the moon, sun, and earth exactly line up here, a shadow mysteriously covers the sun or moon and creates an eclipse. This was what we just had. The ancients thought a giant creature cast those shadows and referred to the nodes as the head and tail of a dragon. The point where the moon heads north is called the North Node, the dragon's head, and calls you forward. Action. Think about where you'd like to be and what you'd like to be doing in 10 years. Hello, that's what's coming in. The thing that you would be down to do for the next 10 years. All right, get ready to sign on the dotted line. And make this a beacon that guides you through the time in between. What do you think this video series is? It doesn't even matter, bro. This is filling the time in between with the intention of what I know is coming in the future. Hello. North Node activation. Virgo Saint North Node. I should just title this like the name of this channel. You know what I mean? Like, who is Virgo Saint North Node? The candle is running over. The wax, boom, it just broke, dude. It's gushing over. Okay, right now it just hit 1949. Like, you're well. Get ready. It's Divine feminine. It's the divine feminine orgasmic experience. It's 2002 through the center, through the nerve ending. You know what I mean? Notice notice what that piques your curiosity. That's something that excites and beckons you, even if it's unfamiliar. Practice beginner's mind and learn the basics. Some people may resist your change and tell you to stay in your lane, but that is just their discomfort talking. Advisors, friends, or employees who were once perfect for you may no longer be the companions you need on this fresh path. Do you see what I said about how when the truth gets revealed, when you guys get magnetized to where you actually are at, and some of y'all's relationships will rip in half, some of y'all's households will rip in half, because you're going opposite polar direction. It's about to eradicate the patriarchy, the way that we gauge families. It's about to change the institution of marriage. It's going to change everything. Because some of y'all will realize, like, your brother or sister actually looks like this, like an alien to you. Like, oh, we were all under the same last name, but we're all obviously belonging to different collectives. Now, for a lot of us, like myself, this is the time, though, you're going to a collective that's about to be very, 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 like, the leaders of this experience. The ones who are prepared, who already went through this experience and are now here to teach what the experience, what going through that is going to be like, and how to navigate that, etc., etc. So in either case, you gotta practice your beginner's mind and learn the basics, whether that be learning the basics of leadership. You've got this. This is so easy. But when it comes, right, we talked about that. Some of your companions won't be fit because you're going to be blasted in a whole different timeline. You're going now. Some of you have already been walking towards it, so now you just kind of like, you're skirt, and now you're in line. You get me? But some of us, we're like all the way, we're over there. We're like way over there. And we need to be like way over there. You know what I mean? So that, like, you know what I mean? So advisors, friends, or employers or employees who were once perfect for you may no longer be the companions you need on this fresh path. If they truly wish the best for you, they will eventually celebrate as your world expands. And that also gives you a good indicator, because some of y'all also, like, pay attention. You're getting moved from places, but, like, look at how people are treating you as you go. Because I can say in my experience, I've seen some major moves between myself, my partner, but we've been so celebrated in our transition. As our world expands, like, everybody's just sent us off, like, saying, like, we're just so excited for you guys to build and rebuild and build and rebuild your world endlessly, because you guys have the recipe for what we all are doing here. If your field of expertise feels too small or confined, branch out and explore new territory. Boom, North Node, bro. Like, I'm telling you, Virgo Saint North Node, like, I was prophesying my own activation. I don't, like, we've got to talk about my plans for myself. Like, I'm very much still a student even in the realm of, like, what I need to know, what I could know in an observation. Like, I'm somebody who really understands the sort of energy of needing to be well read. You know what I mean? Like, of academia holding a certain, like, need in society. You know what I mean? I don't know. So it is, part of me wishes that I had more free time to just now say this is my designated time to continue to scour and rescour each of these texts over and over again, so I can actually, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot in me that needs to be, like, is backlogged. So in that way, like, I'm giving a lot of this information a little more extemporaneous than I probably envisioned this space being in the future. Like, so I'm really excited for it to be much more, to see myself in a future sort of industry, like a real future industry, right? Whatever that may look like in the future. So I'm excited for all of that. But with that being said, like, I knew that this would be a time where I would really truly be activated in who I was, and it was important for me to shoot for bigger. Like, I had to shoot up instead of, like, at the ground, because, like, I was trying before to do these same things, I tried this exact, like, I believe it or not, like this collection is relatively very new because I like completely gave up all of my divination tools as a sort of offering, which is huge because that's not only like money energy like that you're giving back, but you know I donated them all, and in doing that, it was it was really liberating because I was feeling very like I was scared to sort of define my taste on my own, you know, and now just knowing that I have like such a unique and intimate experience with like how all of these have come into my possession, like I don't know, it's really truly exciting. So if your field of expertise feels too small or confined, right? This is what I was really telling people. I feel like I was like at the beginning of May, I was really telling people, like I was really preaching the good word. Like I'm the kind of person that's like, if I'm about to get sacrificed, bro, I'm gonna be yelling. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm about to get sacrificed. Y'all need to let me know. Y'all need to pull up on me. Like, let me know what's good, so that I can let you know, like, on what grounds I'm about to be sacrificed for and how you can move accordingly. Because if it feels too small for me, it probably feels too small for you. You know, that's kind of how I really generally feel about things, because I feel like at a human level, like sometimes when we're talking about meeting basic human needs, like we don't, if it, you know what I mean? Like if you feel like you need a certain type of home, like then like treat that, to have that understanding for like most people, or people want that relationship to their space, right? I won't say that it's that they want the same space as you, but they would like the opportunity to have the same relationship to the space that they relate in and then dwell in. So I just feel like when I'm in spaces, my experience connects me to other people, so a lot of times I'm just like really concerned with like what's going on and why. So along this path are people you need to meet in situations that push you out of your comfort zone and call you to your soul's growth. And that's exactly what my last physical working experience really taught me, and I'm in so much gratitude for, because that space kicked me out of a level of fear that I would be detrimental if I continued forward any longer. You know what I mean? And just like that, I sprouted out of the ground, you know, and I did what I needed to do. And I think that it ended in such a beautiful peace, and in such a supportive and balanced peace. Like what was really owed was rectified, and that's just what it was. And it wasn't about really trying to be in anyone's space any longer than we needed to be, but was supporting like the trajectory, and it was just understanding, you know, about work that we have to do. But this North Node, I mean, we're 28 minutes in, you know what I mean, off of just the North Nodal energy, but I'm so excited. I'm getting 3-4. I'm getting contract and then engagement, commitment, unit. I'm getting like blasting into that. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go back to this video, and this is going to be a very like North Node activated as video. And yeah, so that's just what the energy is right now. Should we do African American Tarot? I feel like this deck always just gives like money vibes, you know. Oh my god, did you guys just hear me say this deck always gives money vibes? That's not planned. That's the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. Money vibes, dude. Super money vibes, bro. Thank you, Source, for today. Thank you for this opportunity to just reflect on myself and to get into the posture of gratitude and determine how I want to proceed moving forward. I feel like I very much am aligned and deserving. So thank you in advance. Please give us the highest messages at this time. Nine of Swords. The wounding, the tender wounding, you know what I mean? This is like, the Nine of Swords here really reminds me of PTSD. Yeah, it's about the wounding from it's like past experiences. You've carried so much truth, and it was like infringing upon your ability to fill your cups. Like it's two distinct energies. You either know, like, because the Nine of Swords is like PTSD, like a deep severance, you know what I mean? It's nearly the Ten of Swords. It's really like it's really getting revved up to cut things off. And I just feel like in the sector of relationships, you either feel the cups, the relaxation, you feel the different posture you can have. This is a different type of party than this. Also, this is what you'll feel if you keep trying to live out your divine masculine. Like, your divine masculine right now would just be trying to, like, attack, he's the one who's tired. The divine feminine is in a completely different posture. She's, like, celebrating. So just, you know what I mean? Maybe the collective right now is really in the mental exhaustion. In the mental exhaustion. I mean, this could really be, like I said, I talked about how people are getting remagnetized to their truth. So there's, like I said, the illusion is really done here, because this is the Nine of Swords is the PTSD from this Three of Swords. Nine of Wands. It's all about this wounded warrior. It's all about the guards that you leave up. Like, this person is having memories of, like, a relative that is passed, and so now they're thrown into this life of safety and protection. But you're just living out this wounding. And this is, like, kind of the vibe, you know what I mean? It's like pulling out your swords and being ready to swing, and attracting and partnering up with just, like, codependency and pain. More truths that are just going to confuse you. All because you're living out a posture where you feel like you've got to live a life of protecting boundary because of a trauma that was experienced. Like, it's a prompter to heal this you know what I mean? And it's funny because I talked about money, right? We talked about how this is synced to money. Wow. Talk about two. Okay, so I talked about the remagnetization. I'll show you this. So on one side, we've got these two energies. The partnership, that the alliance with the pain, so that you just stay ready. You're just wounded because you're up all night, because this guy doesn't go to sleep because he's got nightmares in his sleep. So he just stays up sharpening 3333 on sharpening his blade for fake attacks, you know what I mean? Like, he's not ever gonna really, you know what I mean? Because he's always on the defense. Because Three of Swords, you see? In this, it's like someone's like butt naked, and this person just is like, this is a really weird imbalance. Like, they're giving a sword, they're also giving a basket. It's like you're butt naked. Like, some of us are getting ripped from that space and brought to, everyone will be feeling, and this may be uncomfortable because you may be in a brand new place, like when this happens. Six of Cups to the Magician. You are manifesting. You were speaking the spells over your truth. You can't even run from it even if you wanted to, so it doesn't really matter. Because this is where you're headed. This is what you're manifesting. Six of Cups. What's in your Akashic records. And that's what this big remagnetization is doing at this time. And that's why, like, for me independently, like, some of the opportunities that I know I'm about to step into, as I say, some of the opportunities I know I'm about to step into, right, as a student, but as a student with value, as a page, as a student on path, as someone who knows the major, who knows what they're going to do. Because this is about your money. This whole situation of truth and outlining pain, and really like acknowledging like where some of these partnerships, some of these long-term commitments that we were making may have had nothing to do, truthfully, with where you needed to be. Because that's why it's gonna feel like such a like day and night experience. Thank you, Spirit. Two of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. This is the birth of your new life. This is the physical baby that comes with your Ace of Wands. The new path that opens up. What can be created. The path you opened up. You opened up this path. This new child. As the Queen of Pentacles. The future Queen of Pentacles who you... Like, this is how you manifested this. This is the perspective of how this is being manifested, right? The Queen of Pentacles wants to manifest and open up a new path. The Divine Feminine, that is. Six of Swords. And here's your Divine Masculine. Working on moving on, containing those demons. Because this isn't like toxic. This is like I need to keep my truth surrounded by this darkness, like, so that my shadow doesn't come out of pocket. Like, I'm gonna keep affirming it with these Six Swords. Like, this is not a problem. We are okay. We are okay. We are okay. You don't need to act up. We're not in danger. I got this. Because it was the Divine Feminine, the Queen of Pentacles right now, that is really getting dubbed and crowned. And so the Divine Masculine, please make yourself useful by making sure that that experience that you just came from is surrounded by the light and the love of the truth that you've earned through what you've traveled through spiritually, so that you can be brought to calmer shores. And it was the eclipse. I'm telling you, this is what the eclipse left with. It was what was under the moon with the eclipse. Look, this is like at the birth of a child. This is where the father would stand, guarding the newborn child, while the mother's like freshening and recovering. And this is the darkness that would tell us to abandon this baby, to run, to get out of here, dude. Like, you don't gotta stay here. This isn't your path. It's not even your baby. Like, that's all the things that this darkness could say. But this masculine is needing to really, like, be like, nah. I'm here to stand and protect because that is mine. That is my baby. Spiritually, looking at some of y'all looked at this, and the reason you have something now is because you looked at it and you said, no, that's my baby. Because Spirit had something made for you that was revealed after the shit was taken out with the eclipse. What was illuminated, what was for you, was what was for you. And your Divine Masculine needs to go to the Divine Feminine. It has to go. It's something that's going to make you come into union, because your Divine Masculine, to get it, he's going to have to go to the Divine Feminine and say, that is my child. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. This is the Queen of Wands transformation. Like, a Queen of Swords helped bring this woman to this position. This opportunity is very clear. from a divine feminine's perspective, like, there is, your spiritual truth is going to plunge you into royalty, and you're going to beautify. This really speaks to me because I really think I'm about, well, I don't think, I know I'm about to get a position in life where I'm going to be really working as the artist that I am in my day-to-day life, and be really paid to do so. And I really see that this is what my space will really be like, because I will have learned from the anointing that the Queen of Swords had pardoned me with. Pardoning, right? Like in the world of decapitation, like, I was spared. And because she spared me, I went on with my life, and I took that chance at life and became royalty myself. And now govern it with the same heart, in my own style, in my own way, in my own generation. But I govern with the same heart of the same ancient queen that pardoned me. That's also an energy here. It's beautiful. Divine Masculine is over here really having to make sure that their job is to claim what's theirs. For all of us, look at your Divine Masculine. There's something externally of you. You need the way to open up the path that you desire is to be able to claim and know that that's yours. You see it externally. Know that that's your path to claim. Hello. It's your Knight of Swords. What is your spiritual truth? Some of y'all don't even know what that is. Not some of y'all, but some people don't even know what that is. Oh my God. Divine Masculine, if you can identify that it's your path, it's going to be the best thing in the world, because you are going to become the king. Because you are going to be the father of the divine child. You had the seed to birth into creation the divine sons. You realize you're royalty. Trust me when I say, when you claim this path, King, you go from this to stepping out on faith, keeping them demons away, them non-committal demons that are telling me you walk away, that's not your path, that's not for you, it doesn't have your name on it, it's not going to give you anything that you think it's going to give you. You silence that with the literal painful lessons that you had to learn to stand here and say, this is my truth, and it ends up with you looking like this, my guy. Not only do you finish the sword suit, but you finish the kingdom. The kingdom is yours. You inherit the kingdom. If you accept this as your child, you inherit the kingdom. That's everyone's Divine Masculine. There is a physical creation in front of you. The Spirit is asking you to accept the path. Accept that is your child. Accept that is your path. And for the Divine Feminine energy, you are about to be taken from... You were judged, your spiritual truth was judged, and it was deemed that your heart was not only purified, not only were you spared, but you're now put in the position to develop and create and design beauty and have delegation over that. Let's get the clarifier for that. Also, mind you, at the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. It's a victory coming in. I have a feeling tomorrow, the 24th, is when it'll come in, but time is relative because you could be watching this at any time, but tomorrow, you know what I mean? Woo. Tomorrow. The Divine Feminine. This is your Knight of Pentacles. Walking in. Walking in. To make your land fertile. With the elephant, bro, that's mega abundance. Mega abundance for you. After having the courage to slaughter gang, okay? The 5 cups. Just look at the shamanic healing. It's so crazy. We're at 44 minutes, dude. All of this is coming in the shamanic healing is that you were honoring your energy. This is what a seed can turn into if you continue to honor its energy. Anyone can get a seed, but in order to get a plant to be developed this high above the different elements, you'd have to honor the energy and continue to cultivate. So it's card number 15. We all have those days when we are declined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next day, which just causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Your body has rhythms just as everything else on the earth does. Flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow, and the sun and moon rise and set. Animals hibernate, and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inherent cycles within you. Rest when you need to, work when you need to. Do not try to outthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your own harshest critic. And I think that when we reground ourselves and understand that the restructuring, the movement, the realignment that we're seeing collectively, when we honor that it's all about each of us being able to honor our energy, and that where we're getting moved to is based in that, like, this is a movement based on based on the universe honoring you. So go easy on yourself. There's no need to be so harsh if you were really misaligned, or there might be a lot of not real spoken I told you so's, but just dang, guess I could have seen that coming, kind of energy. But just stay vibrant, and we're gonna end on, I freaking adore this deck, the Living Light cards. It's just a freaking tight deck. It's just potent. It's just real deep cuts with this deck, so I appreciate it. What's in the Living Light cards? Thank you, spirits. The body, right hip, 54. This deck is something else. In the physical realm, the hips represent flexibility. They are the first to bend in order to take a step forward or backward. The right hip in particular represents flexibility when dealing from our historic aspects. Our history can either save us a lot of future grief, or it can weigh us down indefinitely. Ooh. Know that your flexibility as it relates from your past is the key to a happy and unencumbered future. Spirit is literally telling you, I'm about to do some restructuring. This is a beautiful, positive message, through and through for most of us. But for some of us, yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to get to a place where you just kind of need to be really flexible. And in order to really understand what it means to be happy and unencumbered. So the contrary here says you tend to become stubborn and unmoving when it comes to change. Mainly this is because you don't like what you don't know, and the unknown often feels unsafe. If you have received this card in a contrary position, it speaks to you of letting go of your fear of change, your control issues, and learning to be more flexible. That is the biggest message here, because I think it will really come. People are going to be reflected that energy in themselves. They're going to be reflected their control issues. I mean, I already broke it down to you in regards to what the divine masculine and the divine feminine will be respectively going through. But, I mean, it's kind of just pretty much everything, The divine masculine needs to really accept that what you see in front of you is your path. That it's not, don't be an escapist. Don't, grass is other greener, this shit. That's your path in front of you. What's in front of you, what's committed, what that baby is the gateway to what your path is, believe it or not. So step up and be the king of your spiritual truth, your own kingdom. That's what divine masculine can do in all of us. And then the divine feminine needs to recognize that you're about to be elevated. Your spiritual truth has been judged and you have been spared, and it will, and because of that sparing, because you actually did the work, you now have the freedom to go on and create and stand in your royalty as one of the few who did the work. And it's coming to help you bring in the materials to build your empire. The elephant is bless your journey, divine feminine. So that's a message for all of us. That's sort of the words and story of Virgo Saint North Node. I'm super grateful, and 5026 is where we're at. Remember that your resistance to change is really going to determine what your energy is at this time and how you receive things. So yeah, also, side note, yeah, there were some people who were really resistant to change. I'm going to end on this because it's gratifying. Some of y'all know that there were some people in your path who were really resistant to change, and it's almost like, oh, gotta eat their words, because they realized that they resisted a change that was inevitably going to come either way. So now it's just that awkward moment where it's like, we will forever know, like, yeah, it's all good. We're going to go on and we're going to be soul tribe and it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be magicians, but we're always going to know that you were the one in history who didn't believe in the change, and then the change happened anyways, and you can't avoid it because it's your karma. So you're now just with us all the time, and we just know, like, you could, you want to be that remembered as that person. Like, that's the message. And so I feel like some of us might be having people, like, energies return where they recognize, like, yeah, this is awkward because that change inevitably came, that same change you were prophesying, the same change you were trying to get me on board with. And it was my own journey and walk with God that prevented me from seeing further down than I was able to see. And I feel like some of us are going to be getting, like, literally those exact words, like, literally like, right before it's over 5141, like, you're going to get that, like, that gift. So congratulations to everybody in the collective. Really excited for tomorrow. Just gonna really, like, enjoy and bask in what tonight is and get the ball rolling. Thank you.